Hey, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Thanks for joining us today because we have special guests with us. This is Angela Christensen and Tom Bedell from Breedlove Guitars. So great to have you guys here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. You've been before. You've been out to see us, but man, have we got some gorgeous guitars to talk about today. Fantastic stuff. And to help us, we've got Carrie with us. I think of you as sort of the interdepartmental guitar liaison.
Right, yeah. Anything with guitars, I'm usually all over the building helping. If it helps people get the right guitar, I'm in the middle of that.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
And we're gonna hear the story of your personal Breedlove.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Well, yeah. So what we have here are examples of some custom Breedloves. We've got the showstopper guitars from the NAMM show. We've got Carrie's custom guitar. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can get your own custom guitar and what goes into making those. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Good.
So Angela, you're involved from not quite growing the tree, but you're choosing the woods, you're designing the products, you're there for the whole process.
I am. It's such a fun job. I work with our wood suppliers, so starting off with purchasing the wood, seeing what we have to work with, and being inspired to design such lovely instruments.
Yeah, fantastic. And you get to see your visions come to life when you're designing these instruments and everything.
I do. It takes a team to make it happen,
Yeah.
but it's pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So an important thing that Angela does, we don't allow for any wood from clear-cut trees. And a lot of our wood comes from dead trees or dead standing, what do they call them, stags?
Yep.
Or we'll individually harvest a tree. And that's because there's a whole habitat there. There's, I don't know, millions of different species sitting around in that forest. And we make sure that when we cut that tree down, we're doing the least damage to that habitat. And Angela tracks all that, so she can tell you where every piece of wood that's in these guitars came from.
All right, fantastic. You're in Bend, Oregon, and the sustainability part of it is a big part of the Breedlove story.
Yes, it is.
It's important to us. We like to think we're making the world a better place, not just because of the beautiful music people play, but because of the way we treat the earth, yeah.
Right, fantastic. We're so excited to have you here at Sweetwater, and the range of guitars now covers pretty much the whole spectrum, from first guitar, even that someone might want, all the way to these amazing custom instruments. And so there's a Breedlove for everyone as far as that goes. But I want to talk a little bit about some of these custom instruments, because there's two kind of types of custom instruments, and you work with Breedlove on some of these different ones.
So what we do is, if you work with your sales engineer, we're going above and beyond, I guess, a configurator where you can order what you want from choices, to actually working with Angela and the team up there to custom design what you want to see for inlay work, all of the appointments around it, binding, things like that, to make the guitar, something like you could never get anywhere else. And so that's what I did with mine. Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So when you do that, do you start with you choose a model and then you go from there? How does the process work?
Yeah, we usually start off, somebody is going to figure out what is the size of the guitar that I'm most comfortable with. So starting with a body shape, and then from there, usually it goes to the wood immediately, right? We have special stacks of wood that we get to pull out. People will go through the stacks and pick out which piece really speaks to them. And so laying out that wood set, and then from there, it's all about the details. You get into, obviously, a rosette and purfling and inlays. There's just all kinds of little nuances that you can make it unique. So.
Right. Do you find that customers often come to you and say, well, I want rosewood and I want myrtlewood and I want this, or do they say they have a sound and they're trying to achieve it and you help them choose the woods?
Both.
Yeah?
You have some people that know exactly the sound that they're looking for and the woods that produce that. But then there's people that really don't know what they want. They're just looking for, their third or fourth special guitar that's different than what they already have.
Right.
And so then it just becomes a world of options.
Carrie would be a good example. He brought several different versions of his family crest. And the most complicated one we showed to our inlay person, and he said, "Can you reproduce this?" And he goes, "Yeah, we can do that." He was like,
That's what you
"Yeah, man, this is awesome."
Right. So tell us about your experience with designing your own guitar.
Well, we were fortunate to go up to Bend and actually see it firsthand. And for me, I think that's what really sold me on the whole process. I knew going up there that I wanted to see if we could do a guitar that would be my name, Carrie McKay. It's a Scottish last name, so there's a Scottish crest to that. And I thought it'd be really neat to see if it was possible to put that on the neck of the guitar.
Right.
But seeing all of the wood selection that they had there with all the custom wood sets, Angela showed me some Brazilian rosewood that was Puerta de Iglesia Brazilian rosewood that was reclaimed from church doors.
Wow.
And I got a chill as soon as we were talking about it, because the house that I have, the front door and a couple of closet doors were reclaimed from a church in the area.
Oh, wow.
So how cool would that be to have a guitar that matches the house? And when we were looking at those wood sets, we went through the whole tone optimization process and how you can make sure that every single guitar top, back, and sides are perfectly matched so the guitar resonates the best. That gave me the confidence to know that whatever wood sets I picked, I knew it was going to sound good. But from having experience with their companion model, I knew I wanted that because of the size it was. It was comfortable to play. And I play on my couch now more than anything else. And then doing rosewood with a redwood or cedar top was kind of where I was leaning for the playing style that I have. And so, yeah, I felt super confident with what we were going to do there. And fortunately, the position I'm in, I didn't have to stop with just that one. And, you know, we worked on a few others that we'll have for sale here, which will be really cool.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, you actually hand carved on some of your bracing, right?
Yes,
to
we had
your own guitar.
We had the tops out where we were able to hand voice them.
Oh, wow.
By carving the bracing on them, and they showed us how the frequency, you know, you could get it to the right frequency to match the guitar that it was being built for, which was really cool.
Right, right. I'm really interested in something that Carrie said there about matching the wood set to optimize the resonance. Can you talk a little bit about that? What kind of a process is that?
Sure. So with our sound optimization process, we have target frequencies for the top and for the back because they're paired, right? But then ultimately they're creating a fundamental frequency, and that's going to be specific for each of our body shapes. So we've been able to hone into exactly what the hertz reading should be so that we're creating the right amount of separation between the top and the back and really getting the most potential out of those wood sets.
Okay. And is the idea then that they're voiced at specific frequencies so the top and the back work together, or are you using them to sort of shape what's coming out?
You're wanting them to work together and really maximize projection.
Okay.
And that is determined by the amount of separation between the top frequency and the back frequency.
Interesting.
That fundamental frequency really has to do with the body shape. That's the air chamber speaking.
Okay.
So maximizing the potential of the wood set itself, and then together as a pair, how does that work? And yeah,
Right, right.
it's a magical process. We really figured out with our body shapes how to maximize it.
And how does that change then when you change, for example, Breedlove, well known for the Myrtlewood that you're using. Is voicing that different from, say, a spruce or a cedar, or is that the same kind of a process?
It's the same kind of process. We're really going for that frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really that's what, but you still get the different tonal effects of the different woods.
Exactly. It's almost like your flavor of ice cream, right? Different flavors for the different tone woods. You produce different sound quality.
Right, right. Wow, that's so interesting.
So one of the fascinating, to get a little more in the weeds, as you add weight, your frequency goes up. And as you take away weight, your frequency goes down. So once you've put the guitar together, you can't really add weight very easily.
Right.
Right? I mean, I suppose you could put something on it, but so you always want to, if you're going to air, you want to be on the too high a frequency and bring it back in. And we're getting good enough at it that it's not every guitar we have to do this on, but if that guitar isn't exactly in the sweet spot where it's giving us the most projection, the most overtones and so forth, we actually go into the sound hole and carve on the bracing to reduce the weight of that top, because you've added finish, you've added a bridge, you've added weight as it's gone through the build process.
Right.
So we want to make sure not only when we're building it, but when we're done, we hit it right.
You're voicing to optimize the wood set together. Do you also optimize it toward what the player will do? Because, for example, a lot of fingerstyle players will down tune. They'll go very low. And so are you trying to voice, if someone came to you and said, often I'm playing tune B to whatever, would you voice the guitar differently?
We don't do it exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really geared towards the like I said, the body shape, maximizing the potential of the wood, and then it can withstand what you're going to do
I see.
after the fact.
I see. Wow, that is just fascinating.
Yeah, I can tell you the different body shapes that Breedlove offers are what complement the different styles of playing. And the concerto, it's somewhere between a dreadnought and a jumbo shape, but the projection and punch on that for somebody that wants to really dig in and strum hard, it's perfect for it.
Right.
So you pick whatever wood for that, and then all the way down to the smallest one, like my companion. It's really articulate and nice for fingerstyle stuff like you would get from a parlor guitar or something with a shorter scale.
Right.
And to elaborate on that just a little bit, so to go to the play style then, we're not tuning it frequency-wise differently. It's for a play style that's different, so heavy strummer versus the finger style, let's say. We're actually looking at the top wood when we do evaluation on the top wood in the rough. We're getting readings on it that help us understand the deflection, what the stiffness is, how that top's going to behave with different play styles. And we can tell in reading a top where its potential lies within the range of how far we can go to sand it. So how thin you can go with the top and still warranty the instrument and make sure it's not going to explode. Right? There's certain tolerances that we have to work within, but we can get those readings on that raw wood and understand how it can be best used.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So Sweetwater customers have the option to design their own guitar, basically from the ground up, choose the body style, choose the woods, work with their sales engineer and,
Yes.
and get exactly what they want for the inlay and everything. But we're also doing some Sweetwater exclusive guitars as well, right? Can you tell us a little bit about those?
So it started with Merzillion, and that was a first ever in the industry for us. We know the magic in Myrtlewood and using it as a top wood. And of course, Brazilian rosewood for back and sides is kind of the dream back and side to use. So we decided to pair them together. And what came of that instrument kind of blew us all away.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. So we started off with Merzillion 1, and it went over so well, we together designed a Merzillion 2. So, and that was another new configuration. We pushed the bounds on how we assembled that guitar. On the sides, we wrapped the Myrtlewood around the side, so it goes from the top being Myrtlewood, and the side is configured with Myrtlewood joined with Brazilian. And so it's the magic of bringing both of those tone woods together in an equal fashion. So there's just as much Myrtlewood on it as there is Brazilian. And then we got pretty fun with some of the details. There's a really fun stringer up the neck that has bloodwood and myrtle between the mahogany. And that carries through in the detail of the inside with the back center seam strip. There's just a lot of really fun details on that one.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was a partnership, and we had fun doing it.
And I think you only have one left, right?
I believe so. Yeah, they've been very popular.
Well, hopefully we'll see a Merzillion 3 then.
That's right.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
So we've mentioned Myrtlewood several times, and that is a wood that's so closely associated with Breedlove. Tell us a little bit about that. What led you to Myrtlewood?
Well, Myrtlewood grows in our backyard, basically. It grows in the coastal mountain range from Northern California through Oregon. We work with a local supplier. He's over on the coast, Cyril Jacob. We've worked together for 20 years. And he's a great partner for us. He does individual salvaging, works with property owners where he harvests trees that maybe need to come down for whatever reason. But he'll let us know when he's got something and he runs across that's pretty special. For instance, the guitar right here, this is a showstopper from NAMM.
Yeah, it sure is.
That is a really unique piece of spalted myrtlewood. So spalting happens in the wood when it starts to actually get a fungus that's growing through the wood. And there's a fine amount of time between being able to use it and it being degraded because it's decaying the wood ultimately. And we've been able to get some sets that are in perfect shape, they're usable, but they have that characteristic of that spalting that is just remarkable, right?
That is incredible. Yeah.
I believe there were only 2 sets that looked like this.
Wow.
So, you know, it's just every once in a while you get the one-of-a-kinds and or a special tree. And that's another example this year. But there were two guitars, 2 trees, I'm sorry, that we harvested. One is the outrageous log, and the other one's coined the rain log. And it has these markings that Cyril, his impression was it looked like the rain coming through the canopy of the forest, and it has these beautiful kind of spalted markings through it. And the outrageous log has just exemplary color and figure. Really unique, Wow.
So the showstopper guitars, those were custom made specifically for the NAMM show.
Yes.
Yeah.
We now have them here at Sweetwater.
That's
correct?
right. That's right.
Wow, how about that?
So the other showstopper is made with the tree, the mahogany tree, which has a story all of its own, paired with a Lucky Strike redwood top.
Which has a story all its own.
It does.
Yes.
So really special woods. You know, we're fortunate to work with different wood suppliers that keep us in mind when they run across these really special, unique, salvaged, you know, woods.
Right.
They know we care about the stories and the resource, and we like to tell that to the world and share that.
Wow. Wow. And tell us about this guitar. The inlay on that is just astounding.
Oh man, well that's another one that Carrie, so another collaboration, right? Carrie was out in Bend when he designed his guitar. This was another fun one. That has bear claw Sitka spruce with some figured mahogany for the back and side, but the really special detail on this is this mountain scene. And that's actually the Cascade Mountains that you would see from our factory in Bend.
That's Mount Bachelor.
Yeah, Mount Bachelor there with an eagle flying. You'll have to get some close-ups on that one to show off that because it's pretty unique.
Yeah, and I was telling you, I love the slotted headstock with the way that it works with the inlay. It just really sets that off beautifully.
We'd like to hire Carrie to be one of our inlay designers.
There you go.
Sounds good.
Wow. Wow, these are just fantastic guitars. And so we have the Sweetwater exclusive guitars that we're designing in collaboration.
Right.
We have some of these custom instruments that are coming in that we're fortunate to be able to offer to you. You have your option to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer and really dig in and get exactly the Breedlove guitar you want, which is just, it's got to be a tremendously fun. I'm excited. I have to pursue one of those myself because that's wow.
Those are the most fun days at the shop. It really is. When you have people coming in to design their dream guitar, it just doesn't get better than that experience.
Well, thanks so much for sitting down with us today. This has really been fun, and man, these are beyond drool-worthy guitars. So if you're interested, don't hesitate. You want to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer right away on those. But Angela, Tom, thanks so much for coming in. And Carrie, thanks for taking time out of your day to sit down with us. And congratulations on that, man. What a gorgeous guitar.
Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. If you want information on any of Breedlove's guitars, head over to sweetwater.com, or better yet, your best resource is always your Sweetwater sales engineer, so just reach out to them. They'll give you all the details.